Hello everyone, it's Gigo here and welcome back to another motivational video of building a house here in Ghana. If it is your first time seeing this project, this is the Prampram project. So in our previous episode, we did a little bit of a walkthrough to see how far we've come with this, particular project after the roofing and also some inside plastering and electricals. Today's episode we will be focusing more on the plumbing works, and there's a lot to learn, right, when it comes to planning of your building, right? Planning is very important. I keep stressing on it, and today I will give more details why you need to plan. So someone will ask, why are we cutting through the walls and even all the way to the foundation, through the concrete, oversight concrete casting? I mean, we even have iron rods there. Why are we cutting? And the thing is, it's all because of lack of planning, right? So if you have been following, this particular project, which is my personal project, Prampram project, you will know that this structure was supposed to be a single level, right? It wasn't a story building. It was just to be a normal chamber and hall, single floor house. And, I came to visit, and then I had my drone with me that time. So when I, flew the drone up, I saw the view and I decided to go to, make it a story building, right? So by then they've already done the foundation already, right? So, they've already, I mean, we didn't put much planning into it, and I was also in a hurry. So I needed to just keep on with the structure, help them to do the oversight concrete. So we missed a lot of plumbing works, right? Like I said, it was a single story. So all the plumbing works which was supposed to go to the next level, I think most of them weren't in place, right? Even there were few in place, but I mean, we didn't have all of them, right? And we didn't also know how the top floor would look like, right? So this is when even we even thought of coming with the penthouse, because that was also not in the picture, right? So we miss, I wouldn't say that we missed because we didn't know what was coming up. I just had the idea of going to the next level, and then later we will see how it goes. So that was the planning, the initial planning. So you can see that the guy is having the pipe, right? So you can see the one which is there, which is more, I would say it is dusty, is the same color, but you see the top one is more dusty. So this is what happens if you already have a plan. You already do this installation already. But because we knew it will go to this to at the next floor, we just place the first pipe, the one which is dusty, we place it just there to see what happens later. If we would need it, then it is already in place. If we wouldn't, then we just have to cover it or cut it. But here lies the case that it will be needed, so it makes it easy to just connect it, right? So if we wouldn't have thought of that, meaning that then we have to cut through, the concrete casting also, which you see up there, we have to cut through it. So if you notice, if you look at behind the guy, where the windows is, you see that there's also another joint there. So we just did those joints, right? Because I mean, we knew that we didn't put it in the blocks initially. We didn't do that because I mean, like I said, it was supposed to be just one level. So when we decided to have a concrete casting, we just, did those short installations. And then later on, that means that we have to break through, the walls. And this costs a lot of money, right? So now we have to chisel, all the blocks to get the installation of the plumbing works. And this will cost you so much. So this is why planning is very necessary, right? This is where planning is necessary. And this is the same thing, with the polytank. So the penthouse, that was also not in the plan. When I was done with the second floor, that is when I thought of, going another level. So this is I would say the plumbing for the water tank, right, which is on top of the penthouse. This is the installation because we didn't put all of those things. So planning your house is very important. If I should have done I would say the architectural drawing from the beginning, we will have all of these things in place, and we will, start putting them in whilst we were laying the blocks, or whilst we were, so this can cost you so much, in your cost estimate, right? I know some of you have gotten an estimate and you'll be like, hey, it is too expensive. You are just putting in pipes. Before the pipes, there has to be the cutting of the walls. And that is where the extra cost comes in. This costs so much money for them to just cut through the walls to install all of those pipe, you know, is where you have to pay more labor work. They have to cut through the whole blocks up. But if we had this from the beginning, right, before we even start building, we would have already placed all of these pipes, right, in the blocks. You will see the ones that we did. That was just a thought because we had the idea that there will be shower here, so we already put some of it. I think I will show you when we pass by. So if you look carefully, you can see the old ones that we put already. Yes, so that one we knew that there will be a bedroom there, so and we need water. So on top, yes, so we need water, so we already placed those ones. But the poly tank, and then some of the things that we introduced later on, the washing machine and all of those things, I didn't think about all of those things. So now we have to do all of this, right? So this is what you are seeing. This is the water going all the way to the top floor, right? So planning is very important. Make sure that you get, your drawing on paper. The drawing comes with plumbing work, electrical works. Make sure that the person building for you knows all about those things so that you can already buy all of these pipes, and install them, at your foundation level, or during your block laying. You can already be doing those things there. And it will even save you so much money because if they are laying the blocks and they are putting these pipes alongside, you don't need, a plumber to even do those things. If you have engineer who knows about, construction, he knows that this has to be there, this has to be there. That is what we did initially, right? There are some plumbings that you still have to cut the walls. Like this ones, for example, you still need to cut the walls, right? There are some that you have to cut the walls before you can, do your plastering. But what I'm talking about is, the afterthought, right? The afterthought, or if you introduce something new in your structure and you didn't, do the initial installation of the plumbing works. That is what I'm explaining. Not like this ones. This ones, you have to cut the walls in anyways, right? You have to cut the walls and install of all of those things. And this has to be done after the block work is done, right? But I'm talking about the poly tanks, and also, where you will have your water, coming through the house. And also, if you introduce new, structures, you have to make sure that all of those things goes into the foundation. But what you are seeing now, these ones are just, basic. These ones are normal. You always have to cut, but you can also notice that we don't cut deep into the blocks, right? We don't go deep like what you saw, what we were doing outside. That we have to cut we have to go deep into the walls, and that costs so much money because saw how you saw how dusty it is, and these guys will charge you, for that work, right? For that work. But beside that, I mean, plumbing is also expensive. Plumbing works are expensive. Trust me, it is not easy like the electricals where you just, cut some few places and do installation. Plumbing, you need to, you know, cut through a lot of walls. So when you get your estimate, please, like I always say, always ask the question, why is it, you know, expensive? Can you take me through the process? You can always ask that. That's something that we don't do. When we get estimate, we only say, hey, it is too much, it is too expensive, but we don't ask that, can you please take me through, the estimate? Why did you ask for this amount of nails or wood or blocks? And then they will explain it to you so that you will understand why, some of your costs, some courses are more expensive than the others. For example, if I would have thought or knew that, hey, this house is going to be a three level right from the foundation, all the pipes that you see that they were cutting outside will already be in place, right? So then I wouldn't have to, cut all of those things, which will reduce the cost. So at every stage, we will already put in those pipes, with a block laying, right? And I mean, the masons can even do that, right? You don't need to pay so much money to get it done. But if you want to do it afterwards, yeah, then it costs a lot of money. So just pay attention to that. So this is the bathtub area, and we will need, I think, we will need a tap right here, for the bath. And yeah, I mean, this is the whole journey, right? This is how far, we are going. And for the cost of the plumbing work, I won't be able to give, an accurate or the full cost because the estimates, like I said earlier on, my target was to focus on the ground floor, right? Only the ground floor, which is like a four-bedroom house with, kitchen and living room. The estimate that I got for the materials was 4,366, and then the labor work was 3,000 Ghana cedis, right? All in Ghana cedis. That is the estimate that I got only for the ground floor because that was my target. But like I said, we realized that, there weren't so much plumbing works, which, we didn't do from the beginning. So meaning we have to do everything at once. So then we decided to do the second floor and the third floor also, which I didn't get the estimate. I have asked my engineer brother Same to give me the total cost, the remaining balance, but he's not responding, so I will also keep quiet. So I think that the team did that, for me. So to just give you an idea, right, how much it will cost you to do, plumbing work on a ground floor, right, of let's say 3 to 4 bedrooms, all at the ground floor, right? I mean, that will be 7,366 Ghana cedis, right? But I mean, if you multiply it by two, then I mean, you know how much, at least it can give us a picture, right, of how much it costs to do the whole structure. And also, I mean, the curtain at the back of the house is also extra, but I don't want to, just put out any figures there. What I paid is what I will put out here. And since we are done with the plumbing works, then I think what is left is the plastering, right? So stay tuned for the next episode, which is going to be about plastering. I also can't wait to get it done. Like I keep saying, I'm done with the block works. It's time to see some colors and some, nice things on this particular project. So Thanks for staying with me till this far. I really do appreciate your time spent here on the channel. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in my next episode. Leke to